How you doing, Cali Crowd? So you want to start working on handstands, but you can't get up onto your hands even when against a wall, which is where most of the tutorials start you off. What should you do? In today's video, we're going to discuss 4 very simple exercises that you can start with to get you to a point where you feel comfortable getting yourself up into a handstand against the wall. And if you stick around to the end, we'll set these exercises into an even simpler program that you can apply and start using today. Okay, so when it comes to handstands, there's a skill component, mainly balancing, and then there's a strength component, mainly overhead vertical pressing, and you need to be able to do both to achieve the full handstand. In today's video, we're going to be focusing mainly on the strength aspects because most of the skill-based drills relies on you already being able to hold yourself up against the wall. We want to get us to that point. So today, we're going to jump straight into it with exercise number 1, which is the YTW. Now the YTW doubles as being a great shoulder mobilizer, but also a really great prehabilitation exercise as well for keeping those shoulders safe. For the YTW, you want to lie on the floor, forehead on the ground, and get into posterior pelvic tilt by squeezing the glutes. From here, raise your arms by your side into what looks like a letter Y, really pushing tall through the shoulders and externally rotating them. To help do this, you can hold your thumbs up. Hold this for about 10 seconds before moving on to the T part of the movement. Maintain the external rotation of the shoulders by keeping the thumbs up, but now we're depressing and retracting them, so pulling the shoulder blades away from the ears and squeezing them together. Again, hold for about 10 seconds. Still squeezing hard through the shoulders, depressing them and keeping them externally rotated. Move the arms into a letter W, where you're really aiming to open up that chest. Hold for a final 10 seconds, and that flow altogether is 1 rep of the YTW. Key things here, guys, don't just go through the motions. The YTW is about the scapular position, not the arm position. So really focus on what's going on at the shoulder blades and being deliberate with your movement. This exercise is all about building a stable base from which you can build your handstand up from. You cannot fire a cannon from a canoe. The second exercise in this series is the basic frog stand. All the strength we build here today is completely worthless unless we can tether it to some sort of proprioceptive control. The basic frog stand is great for getting us thinking about pushing while maintaining some sort of balance. In the basic frog stand, our goal is to place our hands on the floor at shoulder width with our index fingers pointing forward and the other fingers spread wide and clawing the ground with the fingertips. From here, point the elbows back, bend them slightly, and slowly rest your knees onto your tricep, keeping your toes on the ground. Concentrate not only on pushing through the hands and arms to build isometric strength, but also be mindful of keeping your hips high. We're looking to rest our weight on the underside of our knuckles of our hands, as that will give us the most amount of control over our balance in the basic frog stand. Moving on to the third exercise now, and we have the pseudo wall walk. Now I mentioned that this video was more for people who cannot get up onto the wall and hold themselves there, but we can still start to toy around with experimenting with holding our weight more on our hands than on our feet. For the pseudo wall walk, get into a push-up position with your feet near a wall and simply take 1 or 2 steps backwards up the wall, pushing with your arms straight as you do so. Key things to look out for here is that you hold tension through your midsection so that you don't let your core collapse, and keep your scapula protracted and elevated as much as you can. Only go as high as you feel comfortable. Pause for a second, then reset and do this for reps. For now, don't worry too much about getting high up the wall. We want to create strength and confidence first, so aim to string 4 of these together through about 4 or 5 sets. What I like about this exercise is that you're not only getting some applicable core activation in there, but you're also building up the straight arm strength that you will eventually need to hold a handstand. The next exercise in the strengthening series is the assisted dip. Dips are a great way to build vertical pushing strength without any of the stress of being upside down. Now, dips are a challenging exercise at the best of times, so we're going to do an assisted dip variation using a resistance band. By holding the resistance band in each hand and then grabbing the bar, we can form a hammock that our knees can sit on top of. From here, depress and retract the shoulders, keeping the arms completely straight. Lean slightly forward and lower yourself down until your upper arms are about parallel with the bars. Then push yourself back into a starting position, keeping the shoulders away from the ears the whole time, and do this for reps. Remember, we're after quality through all these exercises. We don't simply want to bounce on the bands, so I would suggest a 2-1-X-1 tempo. So 2 seconds on the way down, slight pause at the bottom, explode upwards, then another slight hold at the top. Work on these until you can get to a point where you can do dips without the band, and you will find yourself building an insane amount of pushing strength. In terms of programming, this is what I would suggest. Screenshot this if you want, but the key callouts are that we want to do slow, controlled reps in the 5 to 8 rep ranges and be focused on controlled quality reps, leaving long rest times, so about 2 to 3 minutes. I would suggest that absolute beginners start by doing this about 3 days a week, leaving at least 1 rest day between each of the sessions so that you can recover. But that's about it, guys. If you want to know some more information and want to know how to bail out of a chest to wall handstand, you can check out this video here. And if you want to know how to open up the shoulders so that you actually need less strength for your handstand training, then check out this video over here. But otherwise, let me know in the comment section what your handstand goals are, and I will see you in the next one.